So I have with me Rajiv Kumar of Microsoft. Rajiv, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Thank you.
So you represent Microsoft, but you also represent India. And to look at this summit, for India to host something of this scale where all the global leaders have come here, there's so much conversation happening around India and AI.
Yeah.
How does it feel like?
I feel so excited, really. I'm just amazed at what India and the AI Summit has pulled off. Impact AI, right? And I like that term also. Yesterday in the keynote session, it was amazing to hear these world class leaders, both from a government perspective and from all the industry leaders and their vision of what is possible for India to pull this level of collaboration,
Yes.
where 180 countries were represented, more than a dozen countries heads were here, more than a dozen CEOs were here, a couple of dozens actually. And then to hear with them, interact with them was super energizing. And I think the the AI is here is palpable, just walking around. I'll just give one example. The first day I walked into here on Tuesday, and I'm seeing so many people in Varmadam. What are they doing here?
It feels like a concert.
Exactly. It feels like concert. It feels like somebody said it feels like Kumbh Mela. So I said, yeah, maybe this is the AI of Kumbh Mela.
Yeah.
And then I realized this country has so much curiosity. People want to know what is AI. They are going to the booths. It's not like a auto expo that you'll see physical car,
Yes.
but it's more digital. And that I'm proud of to be from this country, that there's so much curiosity, because I think curiosity is the key to success and innovation. So
Absolutely.
that's my
And
feeling.
what are these so many young people, like so many students who've come here and they're genuinely interested in asking questions, taking all these demos, and that's really exciting, right?
That is very exciting. And our booths of Microsoft is like flooded with young gen. And I think, see, but the young people, I feel they're born in AI. They will be born in AI. For them, AI will be a partner, a friend,
Yes.
not somebody who's going to take their job. And that mindset difference is a good one.
Yes. But what this summit does, Rajiv, is basically it positions India as this next big AI innovation hub, right? From Microsoft point of view, what's the vantage point? Why do you think India is uniquely positioned for AI when it comes to Microsoft?
Yeah. No, I feel India is amazingly positioned to lead the AI age of AI. If you look at historically, India was the IT service provider of the world. So the transition I see is that it'll go from IT service provider to AI service provider. So I'm very bullish and positive that this will be a good change. Now, what you asked how Microsoft thinks about it? I think Microsoft is very committed to India's journey of becoming an AI leading country. That's why Satya last December, when he was here, he committed $17.5 billion. That is a hard commitment, where the mouth is, like the dollar is where the mouth is. And I think I'm very proud. The way I see it is that to how do you define that AI is succeeding in a country? I think there are three aspects. One, you have to build the right infrastructure, because you have to have the GPUs, the CPU, the data centers, and that 17.5 billion will help us build more data centers in this country, so that every citizen can have access to AI and they can use AI. So that infrastructure. Then the AI has to also be localized, because there is 22 official language and 400 plus regional languages. How do you make sure that AI is accessible to every citizen in their own language, not that they have to learn English or Hindi or some one of the 22 languages? So that's one. The second one is we have to do skilling, because that will help us with diffusion. And Microsoft has committed to doing 20 million people getting skilled in AI by 2030. We already have done 25.6, so I'm very positive we'll get there. And the third is making these AI scenarios real, right? Right from Apollo to eShram to I met the CEO of East Sanjeevani, where he was saying how 400,000 people are reaching out to calling into Sanjeevani to get medical help. So those are some good numbers. Yeah.
That is nice. But I like how you've clearly said that these are the three signs that show you that a country is sort of ready to adapt AI, adopt AI,
Yeah.
sort of excel at it, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to enterprises, right?
Yeah.
Earlier we would have a lot of AI chatbots,
Yes,
you had
yes,
AI pilots.
yes,
Now
yes.
a lot more artificial intelligence is being embedded
Yeah,
into
very, very.
workflows, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What are the clear signs
Yeah,
that you have
yeah,
seen among
yeah.
Indian
Enterprise,
enterprises
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
make you
No,
think that
very
they are
good.
ready to scale
Very
AI?
good question, Manas. And I'm really bullish about that too because I've been working with IT services, public sector. I met the public sector secretaries, and they are so out like in the frontier. We call these enterprises that are trying to go from traditional enterprise to AI, we call them frontier firms. There are four characteristics of a frontier firm. One is the first of all, you have to first energize your own employee about AI, because even in Microsoft, we think we are an AI company, but I had to work hard to change the mindset of the people to accept
Absolutely.
AI.
Yes, yes.
So we have come up with a framework saying, learn AI, use AI, and then build AI. If you can't learn, you can't use it. If you can't use it, how can you build it?
It reminds me of that Dilip Kumar movie Naya Daur where there's a Tanga versus a car race
Huh.
and you're all rooting for the Tanga because you're like, no automobile will take our jobs.
Yeah.
And if you think of it today, 50, 60, 70 years later,
You nailed it. Exactly.
that doesn't make
People
sense.
always think new technology is going to take away jobs, but we forget it will create new jobs.
Yes.
Like I was just telling my commissioner of police in Delhi, Sanjay Tyagi is my friend, so he called me. I ho tum aa jao, chai samosa khilaunga main. He's also from Roorkee, so I went to his place. A police station. Can you imagine? He has almost 50 people working on digital media.
Wow.
There was one room where they are monitoring X, Twitter. They're
No-
monitoring all the social media to see if there's some issues. People like you put at handle and they respond within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Then the second room he took me to was a media creation where he said, "Oh, I create media to create reels to tell the citizens of the city what should they expect, like whether it's pollution or this AI summit happening, or traffic condition." Like I cannot imagine. 10 years back, can you imagine a police station
Police
having
station,
50 or
yes.
so employees doing digital media?
And you must tell him some of his team is doing a great job because some of the posts that they put out on X are really funny.
So
And
some of them are him, Sanjay Tyagi himself, by the
yeah,
way.
oh my
So my point is that new technology creates new job that we can't imagine.
Yes.
And it's not like 5 people. There are three room full of people working on digital side.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So when you say that new technologies create new roles, what I look at it is also
Yeah.
that it makes companies, enterprises think differently, right? Decision making
Exactly.
completely changes. So from where we stand right now,
Yeah.
because the AI boom, it's been last 2-3 years, it's
Yeah.
just totally exploded.
Yes.
Over the next 2-3 years, how
Yeah.
do you see the decision making change within companies because of AI?
Yeah. No, I'll talk about two aspects.
Yeah.
I like what you just said, mindset. I think to make AI successfully diffused in all the employees of enterprises, always citizens, I think you have to first change the mindset. You have to think AI as a friend, not that it's there to help take your job. It's not true. People are not AI is not going to take the job. AI people who have AI skills will take the
Will take
job.
the job. Yeah,
So the
that's
first change is mindset.
Just like
Then
again, people who learn to drive,
हाँ, if you
or you
अगर आप
learn to
टंगा चला रहे हो तो फिर
सीखना
कार नहीं
पड़ेगा.
चला सकते. So you have to learn the new skill, and anybody can learn the skill. So I think it's the mindset. Then it's the skill set. Like you have to learn new things. Like as I said, learn, use, build. So you have to learn the skill set. And third is the new tool set. You have to use the co-pilot. You have to be open to using the tools of AI. And that and then the data set. Data set is like, as an engineer, I think of the data set because that data set will help AI get better.
Yeah.
So that's the loop that I think of. So that's where I feel things are.
But there's also a lot of caution, right? Because the whole AI infrastructure, the change, the transition, it requires a lot of investment, right?
Yeah,
There's so much
yeah,
conversation around
yeah,
money
yeah.
that is being put,
Yes,
the
yeah.
GPUs, the
Yeah,
infrastructure is
yes,
required, and
yes.
it's increasing the prices all around us,
Yeah.
right? From an Indian context, what do you think is going to be the biggest ROI with the respect to the investment that is being put into it?
Yeah, I think this technology is so fundamental that it's not about short-term AI, ROI. It's like long-term AI. Long-term. Let me give you a perspective, the historical perspective. People talk about the global north and global south divide. You know why it is? It's because of one technology. Diffusion took 100 plus years, and that technology is called electricity. When electricity was invented in 1857 or 58, whatever it happened, more than close to 200 years back. Even in this country, when I was born, the electricity was not there in village.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah, yeah.
the divide of that the north, global north,
Yeah.
what we call the developed market, they had electricity, they could automate things.
Yeah.
So that gap of 100 years created the economic gap. In AI, we have to make sure that economic gap doesn't exist. So, and India, from a global south perspective, is a leading country to help global south go. So, I really love what Honorable PM Sir said yesterday. We really have account responsibility to help the country and help the world and global south not have be left behind. So, in terms of ROI, it's almost our responsibility and accountability as generation to make sure that our kids and next few generation like doesn't live in the divide that has been there for last few hundred
And
years.
already that gap has sort of narrowed
Yeah,
down
yeah,
over the
yeah,
last,
yeah.
I think, couple of decades,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One last question to
Yeah,
you. While
yeah.
all of this happens, while all this
Yeah.
change happens, while you lead innovation, how do you still build responsible AI?
See, as a Microsoft, we think Microsoft runs on trust. And I really believe when I talk to a customer, one thing that they think about Microsoft is, yeah, I can trust you. And that's because the principles of trust, what we talk about, fairness, inclusion, security, safety, privacy, there are 6 of these, and I can give you the list. That is embedded in the way we build products.
Absolutely.
In fact, in our Azure platform, we have embedded those trust elements in the platform, and we have almost more than 1100 models, not only the big models but small models, specialized models. All of them benefit because the trust and the responsible AI is built in the rails. So not every LLM or every model has to do that work, the platform itself. So I think that's how we are approaching it. We have a team of in responsible AI. We educate our developers to do it in a responsible way. So it is really both technology and culture. That's where I feel, coming back to the AI summit, all the messages from all these senior leaders of the world and technology leaders, they talked about how we have to take this very responsible approach, and we have been able to do that in the past. Think about nuclear, right? That can be destructive and constructive.
Can also be constructive.
But we have been able to stay on the constructive side, which is a good thing. I think same with any fundamental technology. We always have to approach it with responsibility. I feel very positive where the world is right now.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your time and all
Thank
the
you.
best with all your plans.
Thank
It's
you
wonderful
so
talking
much.
to
Thank
you.
you so much.